Okay, our second question today comes from Andra Watkins. And her question is, I wonder why your dog isn't on the cover of your book. Same here. Talk to my publisher. No, really, what the deal with that was that um, in starting to talk about writing the book, Social Media ROI, which is really a blueprint, right, for businesses as to how to incorporate social media to their business, not just measure its effectiveness. It was pretty clear that the whole purpose behind the book was to reach people who don't read my blog and probably don't read blogs in general. So throw in Chico the Chihuahua randomly on the cover of the book, while funny and entertaining and maybe eye-catching, would have been a little bit random for the target audience. So unfortunately, Chico didn't make it anywhere in the book this particular time, but maybe the next few books we'll figure out a way to put them in there. Okay, so you have a second part to your question, which is, it seems to me like Twitter is dying. How long do you think it has? What do you think will replace it? So I don't know if Twitter's dying. Do any of these tools really, or platforms really, ever die? I think they evolve, they rise and fall. Eventually, will Twitter go away? Probably. Just like MySpace kind of, was the big boy for a while and then just kind of dwindled out. Facebook at some point could also go the way of the dinosaur and be replaced by something else. I think it's too soon for Twitter to die, unless their board of directors or their VCs basically tell everybody to shut the place down, and they shut off the servers. I think Twitter's going to be around for a while. I think what Twitter's done really is, it's really kind of revolutionized the way that we look at digital communications, and especially digital communications as they pertain to real-time communications, number one, and also mobile communications. So every mobile tool, I don't have my phone with me, but the fact that we can communicate in real time from pretty much anywhere through a mobile device, through a cell phone, through a tablet. Even with Facebook, it wasn't really like that. With Facebook, you had a little bit more, even though you pushed your updates immediately and they showed up immediately, people weren't necessarily checking it all the time. Twitter has introduced this kind of very rapid, very compulsive, very high velocity mode of communications between us that really more and more focuses on those small digital devices. So what replaces Twitter, I think, is something that does the same thing but better. It's something that allows us to communicate in real time in a very succinct type of way, but maybe in a way that's more valuable. Maybe it's a way that works with geolocation a little bit better. So something that basically combines Twitter and Foursquare, for example, or Gowalla, and brings them together. Something that works with video and photos a little bit better. And already you start to see that functionality come through Twitter itself and through some of the third-party apps like TweetDeck, for example. But I don't know. I think it's got a while to go. I don't think Twitter's going to go away in the next year or so. Watch me be wrong. I don't usually try to do predictions like that because you never know what's going to happen to markets and technology. But there's no real reason why Twitter would go. I think what you're seeing is Twitter right now is in a phase where it's leveling off. You're not seeing the growth that you were seeing before. But so many companies use it, and so many companies use it increasingly well, that with all the perks programs, with all the customer service opportunities, with all the reach opportunities and community building opportunities that there are with Twitter, I don't really see it going away anytime soon. I think, right now it's kind of flat. It's reached a plateau. Something will happen to stir the pot at some point, whether it's created by Twitter or somebody else, that will probably get it to go up again, raise more interest, and then get it to its next plateau. So I just want to caution that just because something is leveling off doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to drop down, right? It's just don't read too much into those types of trends. So your question continues, Andra. I asked this question because you and I met there, right? We did. And it used to be the place for me to be able to go and make connections with people I wanted to know, something Facebook and LinkedIn don't lend themselves to as easily. It's true, and I think therein lies the secret of the longevity, I think, and the survival kind of DNA that Twitter is going to enjoy. It does provide a platform that's very unique that Facebook can't really do very well. And Facebook has tried to Twitterize itself a few times, and it doesn't really quite get there. LinkedIn also tends to be a little bit more stuffy, a little bit more professional. You don't have all the different feeds, so it's different. LinkedIn has its own incredible value, but it's not like Twitter. Twitter's very unique, so I wouldn't worry. Just keep enjoying it. If another platform comes in and tries to be the Twitter killer, then look into it, get your account, see what happens. A few years back when Twitter started, we had Plurk. Also, whenever the fail whale would pop up, everybody would jump over to Plurk, and then the fail whale started stopping, and basically we stopped going Plurk. So anybody can build a platform like this. Does it mean it will scale? Maybe, maybe not. Don't worry about it. See how it goes, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, thanks for the question.